I gotta do a quick warning for this episode. It's absolutely an amazing episode with a very, very cool guest. But, warning, there's some swearing. So if you're not into that, we'll see you next week. But if you are, this is going to be a great episode. Well, today on Nation, a Window Cleaners podcast, we are talking to the man, the myth, the legend himself about bookkeeping. Pretty much anything numbers, he's the guy to go to. I'm dumb at this stuff, so it's amazing to have somebody awesome. So if you're into window cleaning or any service business at all, stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. What is up? If it's your first time here, have a look around. Of course, there are years and years and years and almost 9 years, I think, of content every single week. Go back, watch, and listen anywhere podcasts are found, of course. And if you're not new here and you're coming back again, well, you're a glutton for punishment, and I very much appreciate you being here again. I got a great show today. As you guys know, I don't ever talk about this side of things because I'm an idiot. But I got somebody who's not. So what's up, Mr. Platta himself? Well, how are you?
No, I'm an idiot too. I'm just an idiot at other stuff. The numbers I got it, but I'm an idiot about a bunch of other stuff. So
that's right. See, you can ask me questions and I know stuff, but you ask me like math, like, oh, what's 6 times 8? And I'm like, but you sure you know?
We got like Batman Robin. We got a Batman Robin situation going on here. We like perfect compliments.
That's right. You're supposed to surround yourself with people that are better at things that you suck at, right?
That's the way to do it. Yeah, it makes you one hell of a force.
Yeah, I just have to be around a lot of people then, if that was the case.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be an extrovert, but had to be.
It happens. Yeah. If anybody doesn't know who you are, first off, they're probably living under a rock. But tell us who you are. What do you do? Tell us everything.
So, man, I did window cleaning. I did pressure washing. At one point, we had 100 employees. I was like reminiscing on that. We had 100 employees around the country. I'm in Minneapolis, but we had businesses in Ohio. We had Florida. We had Portland, Oregon. And then I realized that was really dumb. That was a bad strategy. I didn't like having 100 employees around the country. And when I got into it, like in a funny way, I was in the corporate world and I was helping some business partners with their budgeting and with their books. And then I came in to run it full time, and we had this partnership. And as we realized our strategy of having all these home service businesses all around the country was a terrible one, and that none of us really liked it, I accidentally started doing bookkeeping for other home service business owners. Like, seriously, The first client was one of my business partners was trying to invest in his business, and they opened their QuickBooks, and my business partner was like, I don't even know how to value this. It's such a steaming pile of shit. And the funny thing was that guy was paying $800 a month for somebody to do his books. And and he didn't know what, he was a pressure washing dude. He didn't know what his books were supposed to look like. Yeah. Right. So he just assumed they were good. And I got in there. I was like, this is like such garbage. Right. But he never looked at it. He didn't know how to use it. He just assumed he needed it done. His taxes were all screwed up, all of it. So they said, hey, Platta, can you get in here and fix this? So I did. And then the thing that happens when you help somebody, the old no good deed goes unpunished, is they're like, well, can you just keep doing it? Yeah. And we'll pay you. And I was like, I guess. I don't know. I have no mechanism to
free
bill.
Time. Sure. Yeah.
I've never thought about this as a business, but it's like the classic, you start helping somebody and then one person turns into 10 people turned into 300 some that we had. And I had this realization from we exited all of our home service businesses. Like, we were in the process of saying, like, that's not it. It's bookkeeping. It's recruiting. We'll talk a little bit about the recruiting side of it. So we had bookkeeping and recruiting. And then I realized, like, oh crap. Like, I have 3 investors, good dudes, but bookkeeping doesn't need any investors. Like, there's no need for the money, and they weren't involved in the day-to-day of the business. So we kind of had a reckoning a few years ago where it was like, it just doesn't, either I need to buy you guys out or you need to buy me out. There's we don't need to do this together. When we were buying businesses all around the country, we needed investors, lots of capital to go do that. Bookkeeping is I just need this computer and like some Wi-Fi and I'm good. And they didn't really want to keep doing the recruiting. So it turned out 2.5 years ago, I ended up exiting. That business was Blue Skies. I exited Blue Skies and started Best Damn Bookkeeping, which sucks restarting, but it's like if you work on a file on your computer and then your computer crashes and it doesn't save, like, it's annoying. But when you remake the file, you remake it better. And so it's
faster, a little easier.
Yeah, it's been a blessing in disguise in that way. Like it sucked having to restart and like figure that stuff out and lawyers of trying to like exit a partnership. Like it's never fun.
Yeah.
But I like got to build it. I've built it once, right? And when you build it once, you don't get everything right. The second time you build it is when you really get to like sharpen it. Yeah. And so it's been so fun rebuilding it and taking off. We're 2 years in and we have 23 employees on our team, like about as fast as I can train people.
I was just going to say, you're getting back to that 100 here soon.
Yeah, we're gonna be back at 100 employees and have to offer health insurance and stuff, which is really tricky because all my employees are all around the country. But like taking off, we're not quite back to 300 clients yet, but we'll be there in a couple months. And so like, I mean, 2 years to rebuild something that took us like 6 years the first time. Yeah. So it's been such a blessing in disguise, and it's just fun to have it be your thing, right? And I'm such a weird nerd. Like I am not what you think when you're like, yeah, I need a bookkeeper. The picture of me doesn't pop into anybody's head. Some weird redneck from Wisconsin that drinks beer and does QuickBooks stuff ain't the picture that people paint in their mind. So it's been fun to make it my own. I threw a beer mug in the logo, ode to Wisconsin, threw a beer mug in there. I just couldn't help myself,
Yeah. But. Yeah. And then have you ever been like, have you always been a like numbers nerd? Like you like that side of it, or is it?
I always was. I was the kid in high school that was like the quick one with the answer. I can just like do math in my head. I could then anyway. Now I probably can't. I just got too used to doing it on a computer. But I've always like got into the number side of it. And I went to school to do stock trading because I thought that was a lot of fun. And as I've gotten older, I realize like it's a zero-sum game. Like for one person to win, somebody else has to lose. Right. And I'm maybe I'm like too optimist or too kumbaya. I don't like win-lose scenarios. Like I want win-win scenarios. And so, I did the CFA program, which is like, if you're going to go trade for a hedge fund, like you're going out to Wall Street and you're going to be wearing suits and ties and like dealing with big money. Like I went through basically the CPA equivalent, which is a CFA for a financial analyst, and like did all that stuff and then realized I don't want to go to New York, right? I like hunting and fishing and drinking Busch Lights. That isn't my jam. But in back to the bookkeeping side of things, what I have found in small business is bookkeeping is really a finance thing. We kind of fall into this trap of thinking it's something our tax person needs to be able to do our taxes. And so, they must need to do, somebody's got to keep this QuickBooks up because somebody needs to do with taxes. But what I have found and learned as we were buying a bunch of businesses and trying to figure out like, how's our St. Louis location doing? How are we doing out in Portland? How are we doing down in Tampa? All the decisions we make in a business are financial decisions, and every financial decision comes from our bookkeeping and how we organize our data and like draw conclusions about the relationships between these numbers. So bookkeeping at the end of the day is really a finance thing. Like, yes, we can use it to do our taxes, but that's boring. That's not cool. Bookkeeping needs to be cool. It needs to be fun. Right. And so we really turned it into a finance thing. In our new business, we have an interactive dashboard that we send our clients at the end of the month, which is like a report card. Yeah. And it red, yellow, green. It shows them how they're performing against industry standards. And we record a video for them every month doing the analysis to say, here's where you're winning, here's where you're losing, here's how you're getting better or getting worse. And like, I'll play CFO for our clients and I'll tell them like, here's what I would do. Here's the systems you need. Check out these softwares. You should pay your employees this way. You should try this marketing. I don't have my account managers do that. They haven't scaled home service businesses, but the account managers can still be like a tour guide and say, hey, it looks like you're spending a lot on marketing, right? That's cool. It's okay to spend a lot on marketing, but is it working? What's your acquisition cost? Are you measuring these things? So we can like draw conclusions and like guide the business owner to start really scrutinizing their business and thinking about their results and what's happening, what's not happening that maybe should be happening. Yeah. So it's just been fun. I think when we did this, when I did it in my last business at Blue Skies, we were good at it, but we couldn't quite get to that. Like, so what? Like, what does it mean? What do our business owners do with it? Yeah. And now with that video piece and the analysis at the end of the month, we've seen some of our clients like double, triple their business. And like, because now they have the clarity of like what to go do with this money that they're making and like where to spend more and where to spend less and what to do with it. So it's been super cool just in a couple of years, we've had clients like way more than double their business just because they had the confidence and the clarity. Like, go make the big move, go do the big marketing thing, double down on their recruiting, whatever it was. So it's been
so many people start too, and they're like, I just like window cleaning. So then they start, and then they realize it's like, when a restaurant goes out of business, and then like 2 months later it reopens under the same name, and it's just like the kitchen staff bought it, and then it goes out of business in 3 months because it's like, yeah, you guys can cook food, you just don't know how to run a business.
Yeah,
like that's where a lot of companies get into is they're like, they know part of it, but they don't know all of it. And then they're like, oh, that doesn't matter. I have somebody for that, the famous $29, or whatever. It's more than that now, but it was like $59 or something for QuickBooks. They're like, I got that. It's like, you can push a button. It doesn't do anything for you.
Then, still doesn't tell you anything. I got into it one time with a guy on Facebook, and I was like trying to describe to people what actually good bookkeeping is. Like, it's a finance thing. It helps you run your business. And this guy was like, I got a bookkeeper already. And like, I would never I wouldn't want my bookkeeper to like, she's great. And I would never want her to like tell me how to run my business. I'm like, yeah, that's why she's not a good bookkeeper, is because she's never cleaned a window. She has no idea what metrics you should be tracking. She can't tell you anything about your business. She just categorizes and reconciles shit. Like, that's not a good bookkeeper. Like, we're arguing the same thing. You're trying to tell me she's a good bookkeeper, and I'm telling you the fact that she can't tell you anything about what's happening in your business makes her a pretty bad bookkeeper. Like, she should be your CFO.
QuickBooks.
Yeah. Like, you need better. You need better, or not. Or you can argue that you like your shitty bookkeeping and keep it. That's fine. It's your business. You do your thing.
As a dummy who sits in front of a screen and talks to himself for a living, I know that. I just always tell people like, dude, I don't know anything, but I'll tell you some stuff. And if it opens your brain to it, then great. But there's so many times people argue and you're like, dude, I talk to hundreds of companies a week. Like, I know that's not true, but I'm not going to argue you because you already have your mindset. Like, do your thing,
Yeah.
But you've talked to like hundreds of window cleaners or just service companies in general. Like, what do you think people suck the most at? Like, what do you see as like, this is the number one issue?
It's generally, they generally suck at when their job changes and they don't know what to do with themselves. And I call them the purgatories of scaling. There's people out there that'll call like the levels of businesses, or level 1, level 2, level 3. I'm more concerned about the transition from level 1 to level 2, or the transition from level 2 to level 3, because that's where people get really stuck and lose money. Even though their business is getting bigger, the longer they get stuck there, the more they lose, because it's usually like you have to change who you are and what jobs you do, and you have to be able to hire the role that you were just doing and have the systems and processes and the training for it, and be able to afford to pay for it. So I see a lot of guys start, they don't charge enough, right? They charge only what it costs them to go clean a window. And they're like, oh, these other guys are a ripoff, right? No, the other guys know what it costs to actually run a business, right? And to pay for resources. Like, even if you're small and you don't have to pay for a big facility, you don't have the big rent bill, you don't have the big software bill, you don't have the big marketing bill, you don't have the big bookkeeping bill, maybe. You ought to still charge the market rate. Like, figure out what the highest price in the market is and go charge it. Like, A, because that's what the market price is. Like, you don't need to give people a discount. But B, if you're going to grow your business, future you is going to need that money, because renting a location costs a shitload. Hiring a bookkeeper is not free, right? And you're going to need one when you start adding trucks and adding employees. You're going to need to spend 10% of your revenue on marketing. When you first start, you spend like 1 or 2 and you put some door hangers out and you're like, I'm busy, right? When you got 10 trucks driving around, you got a lot of mouths to feed. You got a lot of people to keep busy. You're going to have to spend some money on some marketing, and you're going to have to keep those trucks full. You're going to have to spend some money on recruiting. So I think just like getting comfortable with really charging the market rate is the first thing that I see to get people through that like first purgatory number one. And this is usually a bridge that they cross at the same time, which is getting their employees on some form of pay per performance instead of paying people hourly.
Yeah.
And it just goes without saying, and we all kind of know this, but if you pay people hourly, they are incentivized to make jobs take longer. That doesn't mean they're bad people, but the way they make more money is to make a job take longer. That's just the fact of it. When you change it to pay per performance, again, I don't like win-lose situations. That's why I'm not in the stock market. When you pay people hourly, it's always a win-lose, because if they go fast, you pay them less and you make more. You win and they lose. If they go slow and they get overtime, you can't go back to Mrs. Jones and say, hey, took my guys longer, gonna have to charge you more, right? Your rate is already locked in. They win, they get a bigger paycheck. You lose because your profitability goes down. So when you pay people hourly, you always have a win-lose. And it kind of sucks. Like, you're on the same team and one of you has to win and one of you has to lose. Right. It's kind of a shitty feeling. Yeah. paper performance is always a win-win or a lose-lose. And when it's a lose-lose, at least you lose together. And like if your employee comes to you and says, hey, I'm not making enough money, your reaction is, you're right, you're not, and neither am I, and this sucks. So we either have to get you faster, more productive. Maybe we ought to look at our pricing. Maybe I need to raise our prices, right? And go look in the mirror and say, you're right, you're not making enough because I'm not charging enough. Let's bump that up so we can both make enough. Or maybe this just ain't the job for you, right? And maybe we got to find somebody that can actually do this like productively and do a good job at it. So paper performance, like getting that dialed in, really takes the lid off your business to get the right employees and get them producing.
Yeah. And your argument of my bookkeeper, I would never have do that's exactly it. Nobody can say the things that you just said unless you've gone through it, or like you actually genuinely know. It's not like, oh, I read this book one time and it said this thing, So too many businesses, they look at where they are exactly right now, and they like you said, you don't pay or you don't charge for all that stuff because you don't have it. You'll never have it then. Like you're not charging for afford it. Yeah. What do you look like in a year? What happens when everybody says the whole, I'm going to be $1 million business. Cool. How many trucks is that? Oh, I don't know, man. Probably 10. Like, dude, you're just throwing out numbers. You've done no real calculations or planning. Like, if you don't look at your future business and you don't know where you are now, you can't figure out how to get there either. It's like It's like saying, I'm going to go to California, and you're like, oh, cool. What roads are you taking? Like, I don't know. I'm just going to drive. It's like,
I'm just going to get there. I'm just going to go. Okay. It's actually a pretty big place. You can be careful.
Weird enough. Yeah, you might get there maybe, but you might also end up like on, another state going, I don't know where I am. So
you could end up in Mexico. You be careful. You be careful out there.
Maybe that's the plan, and nobody knows. But yeah, it's kind of crazy though that how many people just go so blind at it. And then when they look at companies that do succeed and they do have growth and they do have everything, I don't know if you see this, but so many people put out these excuses and they're like, "Oh, he's in a good market," or "Oh, my customers wouldn't do that." It's like, dude, you're not. It's very rare that there's a different market, and I know of like a handful of zip codes, maybe like 3 to 5 zip codes that are really different. The rest of it is all the same, no matter really where you are, Yeah. It's just, you just don't know yet.
Yep. There's good clients out there and there's good employees out there, and there's bad clients out there and there's bad employees out there. Yes. And if you're complaining about either of them, then that's your fault. Like you're the one that chose them.
You're the one with the paddle. So like you direct the boat.
I had a guy in one of my CEO roundtable groups in Minneapolis here, and he was in a marketing business. He did a ton of work with Prince back in the day, like literally was with Prince in his house, like working on branding stuff. And I remember we were sitting in this roundtable meeting, and he was like feeling sorry for himself, or that was like he was presenting to us in his problem, and he's like, "You guys, like." I'm just going through this stuff, and I got employees that aren't doing exactly what I want. I got customers where things aren't going the way I want. And he just takes this, and this guy was super introverted. He was like really quiet. He like wouldn't really talk a whole lot or speak up a whole lot. And he just goes, "But fuck, it's my business and I can do whatever the hell I want. Like, I got to stop feeling sorry for myself and just like go get what I want." And it was like, I'll never forget it. Cause he was just like ho-humming, and then he just like F-bombed us all. And he's like, "It's my fucking business."
Yeah.
And I was like, it is. And I always have to like go back to that, is anytime there's something in your business you don't like, go look in the mirror, right? It's not the employees. They're not the problem. If you have employees that you don't like, that's your fault. Yeah. Right? Like you're the one that either sucks at recruiting or sucks at leading or sucks at retaining or whatever it is. Yeah. Like you just can't, it's like the blessing and the curse of being a business owner is it's always your fault.
Yes. And it's always your fault if it goes well or it goes bad. Like I always say, if you fail, it's your fault. And people are like, whoa, no, 90% of businesses fail. No, 90% of business owners suck. That's what it is. I mean, absolutely. Every house and building has windows. If you're not making money doing windows, you're doing something wrong, which is cool. Figure it out. Yeah.
It's out there.
You said something pretty good though, is that you said you hired the right person. And we talked about this a little bit too, but there is such a correlation with business and planning and really just the finance side that drives the company, but the people are the ones that do the company. And there's so many times that people just they're like separate and they don't understand how intertwined really everything is.
Yeah. So you had asked the question earlier too, like what's the number one mistake or what do you see, people tripping up on? And I'll say the number one thing I see people get right, like to flip it around, the businesses that are winning are always the ones that are best at recruiting and leadership.
Yeah.
Like it's in a funny way, our businesses are so simple. Like, yeah, the window needs to be cleaned, but the thing that grows a successful business, there's two things. There's only two things: employees and customers.
Yeah.
And your business is only ever as good as your worst employee. Like somebody is going to interact with your worst employee that day. So you need your worst employee to be a stud. Like your worst employee has to be awesome for your sake and for your client's sake. And like somebody's also going to have to go work with your worst client. So your worst client better be a damn good client. Yeah. Again, it's your business. So if you don't like your employees or your clients, like go change it. It's yours. Nobody else can do it. Like it has to be you. And so it is hilarious. Like I own part of Hire Lead Chill. We bought that from Blue Skies as well. And I remember back in the day, we had all these maid service businesses around the country, and like maid services have high turnover, and we had to get good at recruiting because I hadn't figured out the leadership side of it yet. Our turnover sucked. We had like a good core of employees, but we couldn't figure out like how to get new good ones in the door and how to retain them. And so this is like laughable in my head now, but we were like, we need to have 3 people ready to go. Like we need to have people interviewed in advance. We called it the hopper strategy. We got to have 3 people ready to go in case somebody quits tomorrow. Right.
Yeah.
Or calls in like, or we need to fire somebody tomorrow. We better be ready to hire somebody. We can't wait to recruit until we need somebody. Like we need to have 3 people lined up. Now I have at least 20. Like if I don't have 20 people ready to go in a list of who I'm going to call first, then that's not good enough for me. And I'll tell you why. And I see this happen all the time, and we've all done it, is most people wait to recruit until they need to hire.
Yeah.
And so they'll be like, I need more people because we're going to grow, or I just lost somebody, I'm going to start recruiting. And we all do this, which is when we reactively recruit, we hire the first person that comes along that's good enough.
Yeah, you settle.
Every time. You always do because you're in like distress. Right. You're like, God, we have all this work on the schedule. We need some people. You got a pulse. You'll be good enough. And we hire, like I've got my list of 20. We hire the person that otherwise would have been number 20 on the list. Right. But number 20 is good enough, right? That we think they'll work. And so we settle. And then we bitch about our employees because we like, again, it's our fault. We have the shitty recruiting system. And so we do a bad job recruiting people. We dumpster hire them. That's what I call it when you just hire somebody because they're good enough and they showed up in front of you at the right time. You dumpster hire them. And then you complain that they aren't amazing employees. Right. Of course they're not, because like you hired out of desperation. It's not, like if we flip it around, if somebody shows up to my job interview and they like need a job right now and like they're unemployed and they need a job right away, like I'm not going to hire them. I don't want to hire desperate people because they just need a paycheck. I don't want somebody on my team that just needs a paycheck, because then they're not being picky enough about actually finding a job they're going to love. They're in desperation mode. They're just trying to find a paycheck. And if you're in desperation mode and you're just trying to find employees, like, and not caring about are they the best employee you're ever going to have, then you're going to end up with a shitty team full of shitty coworkers and chaos and drama. So like I said, now when I recruit for like our account managers, I'm recruiting right now. I don't need anybody. And I actually I do a reverse group interview where I actually have them interview me. Because you can learn way more about people by watching their nonverbals. In an interview, they just lie to you. In an interview, they lie to you. So I present to them and then watch their nonverbals to see who really wants to come work for me. You can tell right away, like who's really, really coming, who's interested. But I always tell them right away, I'm like, I'm going to disappoint you guys immediately, just like I do in my marriage all the time. I don't have a job for you today. Like this, I say this like damn near verbatim every time. I don't have a job for you today, which is probably going to bum a few of you out, but like, hear me out, because if I had a job for you today, I'm going to hire one of you, right? What if one of you isn't the best in the world? And then you're going to get here and find that I just hired a bunch of like, who was maybe the best on an interview. And then you're going to get here and be like, oh, I'm surrounded with a bunch of average people. And maybe you're not average, but now you're surrounded with a bunch of people that were good enough. So I'm not here to hire somebody today. I'm here to figure out who I'm going to call first when we need to hire somebody. And we're going to keep growing like crazy. but I need to know who's on my list of 20 and who do I think is going to be the best. Now, I think all 20 of these are going to be good, but no offense, I'm never going to call number 20 because why would I call number 20 when number 1's up here?
Yeah.
And this is like true story. This just happened. I'm interviewing people now. I got names written down on the sheet of paper next to me of like who, like I've got my list. I know I'm like freaking Santa Claus over here. I got a list. But when I needed people, so I wanted to add 2 people in January. I reached out to 4, just the top 4 on my list. And I've been in communication with them. I interviewed all 4 of these people a year and a half ago.
Wow.
18 months ago, I interviewed these 4 people. I've stayed in touch with them. Like I use Hire Lead Chill. Obviously, I'm an owner of it. It'd be crazy for me to use somebody else's recruiting service. I use my recruiting service that I own part of. And so Hire Lead Chill nurtures them, just like marketing, right? It's no different. Yeah. I've got these 4 people. They've interviewed with me. I've stayed in touch with them. And like, I don't personally stay in touch with all 20, but I do like the top 5. Like I'll check in with them personally every once in a while. I'll be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? I know you were complaining about this job. Like, how's that going? What are you looking for? What's your timing look like? And I sent out my bat signal and said, hey, we're going to be adding some people here over the next few months. Just want to check in on your availability. Like, what's life looking like? One of the gals had taken a job in November and said, I'm coming to work for you someday. But right now I've got this opportunity. I really like it.
Yeah.
3 dudes all said, yep. Like, here's what I got going on. One guy was in a project-based work in a private equity thing. And he was like, yeah, the timing's good for me to like check this out. He ended up not working out, which is great because that's fine. I got a friggin' huge list. So It wasn't the right fit for him. The other 2 guys, and this is always super important to me. One of the guys had been like exited from a corporate job. And so he had his severance and he was like, yeah, just if it's within the next few months, let me know when. I'm good. And I was like, yeah, probably within the next few weeks, this will be like happening. Yeah. And the other guy said, and this is, I told him this after the fact. He said, I got to give 2 weeks. Like, I can't just come. I got to at least give 2 weeks. And I was like, probably give him a month. But realistically, if you had told me you're going to just bail on your current job, even if you hate it to death, if you just told me you were going to bail on it, I probably would not invite you here anymore.
Right.
Like, nobody deserves that, right? Like, right. If it feels like dating in high school, if you're just going to come and date me and bail on them, you're going to do the same shit to me, right? Mm-hmm. When somebody offers you a bigger paycheck, you're just going to bail on me. Like, that's not the person I want here.
Right.
So again, I interviewed these people 18 months ago, and now 2 of those 4 that were in my top 4 are working for me.
Yeah.
Right now. And so we get like leery of that, but it's just relationship building. Recruiting is just relationship building. We don't need to wait to recruit when we need to hire. Then we do it out of desperation.
Right.
If we do it in advance, the nice thing, and again, I tell all the people that I do these group interviews with, like Todd and Kyle, who started with me, they find out now, but I tell them all, like, when you get here, you're only going to work with studs. And if you can't hang, they'll fire you. I don't need to. I'll be the one that fires you, but the team will tell me that you can't hang. Right. And if you can hang in the future, you will tell me if the new people that I bring in can't hang. Like, it's your team. You are the A players. You need to make sure that everybody else I bring in here is an A player too, or they can't stay. Because I don't want to run that business. You don't want to work for that business. Our clients don't want to hire that business. So again, if you get that part right in your business, everything else works.
Yeah.
It just does. And those are the clients, those are the bookkeeping clients that we have that are successful. They figured that out.
Right.
And then the rest is pretty easy.
And there's so many people that are in the same side on the opposite. They never let anybody go because they're like, oh, we're too busy. I can't, we'll deal with it. And it's like, well, that's because we call it ABH, but always be hiring. Like, if you don't have that and you don't have people in the wings, then of course you're not going to let somebody go because it's busy season, but the guy he disappeared and he's no show and you're going to deal with it because you're settling on the other side going, well, I can't do this.
Jersey, I don't want to embarrass you on your show here, but your acronym is wrong. Just to let you know, it's actually the ABCs. It's always be recruiting.
It's better. I like that.
Always be recruiting because you don't need to hire people. You just need to have your list, right? Yeah. You just got to have your list. You'll hire them when it's the right person, when the timing is right. But always be recruiting.
It's like sports teams. I always joke, but like football teams is a business. You're always trying to get better people, keep the good people, and let the bottom people go, and always recruiting new people. But you're always bringing in people that are going to be the next stud. And you look at the team, and it always comes down to that. I mean, you have bench warmers that are there, but they're there for when they need it for whatever reason. It's how business is run. If you can't see the big picture of that, then you're just in a narrow mindset, really.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like the other side of the coin, what you just brought up, which is if you have that list, it allows you to bring better people in because you're picking from the top list. The other part is just what you just said is if I have that list, all of a sudden when somebody has bad behaviors and can't cut it anymore, because we're going to get it wrong. Right. Yeah. We're still going to not always bring on an A player. I've brought on some B players that we were like, oh, my bad. And we've had to let them go. Yeah. You're not always going to get it right. But if you have this list, if you get it wrong, or if somebody, sometimes you have great employees and then stuff happens and they just fizzle out for whatever reason. You need to be, you can't be held hostage. Right. Because otherwise we get held hostage by our employees. And we've all been there where it's like, damn it, I have all this work on the schedule. This person keeps showing up late and is toxic, but I can't get rid of them because I got all this work on the schedule and they know how to do the work. And otherwise I have to train somebody. And so we just surround ourselves with our own misery and feel sorry for ourselves because nobody wants to work anymore. You can't find good help these days. And we tell ourselves these bullshit stories because because really, again, it's always our fault, right? We're just not ready to own it yet and look in the mirror and say, I need to get better at recruiting and hiring and firing.
Yeah.
But that's what it always comes down to. And it's so, I think for a lot of folks out there, we've made those mistakes, but we've also all probably gotten it right once or twice and had a great employee. And if you can stack a few of those, you sleep so much better.
Yeah.
Your marriage is better, right? Your friendships are better. Because, excuse me, we're all Dusty in here. We're all normally I drink a beer when I'm podcasting. That's
right. I screwed you up. Sorry.
But we're all pieces of shit when we're grumpy and miserable. We aren't nice to people, and our businesses take a toll on us when they aren't humming along. It's a pain in the ass being a business owner when your business isn't humming along, and when you have shitty employees, it just doesn't hum along.
Yeah.
Right. It is the thing we need to solve. And it'll help us make more money. It'll help us grow our business. But the biggest impact, and even just these last 2.5 years for me of doubling down on this and really getting it right in this business, my marriage is better. I'm a better dad. I go on more hunting and fishing trips because my team is better and I can leave for weeks at a time and they can crush it. I don't like being gone that long because I really freaking, and again, I really love our business. It's so much fun to run because it's run by a bunch of really good A players. I don't want to be gone that long. I was ice fishing last weekend. I did 3 demos on Saturday from the fish house. I'm sitting in the fish house out on a frozen lake in Minnesota. I got Starlink out there. I can't, I'm with my kids, with my family, but I'm also doing some work stuff. It's too much fun growing a business with the right people. It just changes everything about it.
Well, and this some people may not believe this, but business owners have some stress on their shoulders, just always.
I've heard that.
It's why people add more stress. I never, ever understand that. And then, like you said, you have crappy employees, so you don't hire new employees. But then when you do, you hire them in a rush, and then those become crappy employees that you complain about and have to hire somebody else. It's it would be what do they say, that phrase that it feels good to stop. If you hit yourself in the leg enough times, once you stop, it feels good. It's you're doing that. You're creating this cyclical crap show that comes back to you, and it's you doing it. Just nip that, right? And then if you have bad employees, the worst thing you can do for good employees is have bad employees, because now you're rock stars, like you said. If you tolerate a crappy employee, then they're like, well, what am I doing all the work for? What am I doing?
The good employee leaves.
Yeah.
Good employee,
and you lose that part. You get to lose the star player because you're dealing with these bench warmers that you just hired on a whim because you thought you needed it. And now your numbers are down, your profits are down, goes back to bookkeeping, and you go, well, why are we making so much less money? And why is our payroll so much higher? We're not doing more work. Well, it's because you have a crap team.
That's the LA, the Vegas Raiders right now. Max Crosby's I'm out of here, right? Yeah. Why would I want to be the only A player on this just burning franchise?
I'm not going to be the only one that's working hard if I'm working for somebody, right? Like you said, if you have a team of just all killers and they're just all awesome, they work together and they go, man, I got to actually work harder because everybody around me working just as hard. I can't leave those guys hanging.
Yep.
If they're all crap, then they all fall into the crap pile. Nobody goes, I'm going to be the guy. They're all going to go, well, these guys aren't doing anything.
Yeah,
I'm
I see what I can get away with. I can slouch even a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. I know quite a few companies that have done that, where they look at everything in gross and things, and they had a stagnant year because a lot of crap happened to kind of get them in. And then they go, well, why is payroll double? Well, if you have issues coming into that side, well, then you have to nip that. But then when you get into it and it's too busy and you can't hire, well, now it's winter, in Wisconsin, you get to a certain point and you're like, well, I can't hire now. I don't have the work. It's like, well, do you have the work and need the employees, or do you have the employees and need the work? Like, both are problems, catch 22, but I'd rather have great employees and then bust my hump to get the work,
I found when we had all of our businesses all around the country, we looked back at that data over year after year after year of running home service businesses, and it was crazy what the correlation was as to when we grew. It didn't actually have anything to do with sales and marketing. Every time we went backwards or went forwards, it always had to do with if we had the people. If like, we weren't always good at recruiting. We sucked originally. Yeah. Especially remotely, because we didn't, like I said, we didn't have the leadership model figured out. I still wouldn't go do that again in like remote business. It was just too hard to run remotely because it is such a people business. Yeah. But every time we went backwards or weren't growing the way we wanted to, it was always an employee issue. It was never a marketing issue. If we had the employees, we could grow. Yeah. Every time we lost 2 employees, we had to slow our marketing down, or we couldn't get to the leads or whatever. That was every time our business shrunk, wasn't profitable, sucked. Every time we had the employees, we just grew like crazy. Yeah. And it's so there was a lesson I learned during COVID, because none of us knew what to do. Right? We're just like, do we shut down? Do we go twice as hard? Do we what's the answer? In our Minneapolis business, we were like around $1 million in window cleaning, pressure washing, and I merged with one of our competitors. We were in the $600,000-$700,000 range, and he was in like the $200,000 to $300,000 range, so just sub $1 million, and like, we had these big plans, and then COVID hit, and we were like, well, the one thing we know is like, there's going to be a bunch of stuff to get cleaned, right? People are going to want stuff cleaned, and we think we're essential. We think we're going to be able to go out, but everybody's getting paid to stay at home, right? And so there's going to be this like war for employees. Like, how are we going to hire people to go do this work, because we're competing with the damn government who's paying them to stay at home? And so we said, well, like, we have to get employees. Blank check. I don't know what it's going to cost, but we got to go spend whatever it takes to spend. And I still look back at this and think it was crazy, but it also opened my eyes to like what the value of investing is. Yeah. We spent, over the course of 2020, we spent $35,000 on boosting job ads for a business that wasn't even doing $1 million. Yeah, right? Yeah. Like, think about that. Yeah. 35,000 in job ads. We hired 45 people. We kept 15. Those 15 dudes, like, one of them today is running one of our businesses. We won. Yeah. Our business grew like freaking crazy. And we were like, 35,000 is a lot, but it paid for itself over and over and over again. And it's still the thing we look back to and be like, that decision to like double down and go get the best people. I mean, like, our team was amazing, and we still have a bunch of those people. They were so good because we went and got the best people. Like, we bought every lead we could get for an employee. And like I said, like, Owen still runs our high rise business and helps with the residential business. We were able to start doing high rise because we like got the right dude. And it just all of a sudden was like, man, I used to think like $1,000 in a month was a lot on Indeed, like, for boosting for employees. Yeah. And then Sean and I talk from Hire Lead Chill, and I talk about this all the time, which is these employees make us $200,000 in a year a lot of times. Yeah. And I'm afraid to spend $1,000 to go find one. Like, in 2020, we spent, frankly, like, again, we hired 45. Not everybody stuck, right? Like 15 of them stuck, which is normal. Like, 1 out of 3 that you hire is it ends up making it, and window cleaning. But like, per employee, we spent $3,000 when you like shake it out to the 15, about $1,000 per person we hired, about $3,000 for person we didn't. But it's like, if I said, Jersey, pay me $3,000 and I'll give you the best employee you've ever had, you'd be like, let me find my checkbook. Yeah, right. Yeah. But people are just so afraid to spend like a few $100 sometimes. And again, it's like, it's funny. It's so much easier to complain about than it is to solve the problem. But it's a very solvable problem.
Yeah.
Like it takes a few bucks. It's worth the money. Like it's such like when I say it that way, everybody's like, oh, of course. But if I said, go spend $3,000 on Indeed right now, you'd be like, no, that feels like a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like it's scary to spend because you don't really know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But when you do go make that investment and realize now you have the best employees you've ever had, like you would do that over and over and over again. It's worth it every time to like know that your clients are taken care of, know that you're not going to have shitty coworkers run around creating drama.
Yeah.
Like know that your marriage is going to be better. You're going to sleep better at night. You're going to be a better parent. Like that shit's priceless.
Oh yeah. So. Well, it's like marketing and stuff when you're like, oh yeah, you do like an EDDM campaign will cost you $5,000. And like, oh dude, I can't like spend $5,000. It's like, you're not spending anything. You mean you can't make 100,000 or like, that's the employee. Like if you have such a short mindset, well, I can't spend 3,000 per person. Can I give you $200,000 a year minus $3,000? And you'd be like, yes, what? Like it's the mindset's part of it where people think of investing as spending because they still have a consumer mindset, not a business owner. It's like buying a TV that just sits in your wall until it doesn't work anymore and you got to go buy another TV. It's like nothing we do in business doesn't bring us back money. You have to do the things that make money and bring it back into the company, and it also makes it stronger. If I had $1 million contract that I had to give you, if you don't have the employees to do it, you can't take the $1 million contract, right? So it's like, well, do you have a great team to do what comes up, and now it's just up to you to go sell and get that stuff, or do you not have anything? Well, if it comes here, we'll try to hire people, and now you're in panic mode again. It's the short-term mindset, I think.
I especially like. I'm going to bring this right back to bookkeeping now. We're coming back full circle. Back to
full circle, man.
When, especially like in this business, like I said, in 2 years we have 20 some employees. Like we're doing over $1 million in bookkeeping, like which is basically a maid service. So that's crazy fast growth for this type of business. But it when I look at our P&L and I know when we add more clients that they're going to get taken care of really well. Well, it makes it so much easier to like look at the investments I'm making, and this we do the books for ourselves too. So I I organize so I can like grade my own investments. So I look at my marketing, I look at my admin team, I look at my infrastructure, I look at my employee engagement investment. Like I like to spend a lot of money on our employees because they are the most important thing in our business. And so it makes it so much easier to invest in growth when you know that your clients are going to be happy, when you know that your employees are going to be happy, and like the work is going to get done right. It's so much easier to like put gas on that fire, right? Yeah. That fire's burning hot. It's not going to fizzle. Right. And to have like the trust and confidence once you get the right people on the team, it just unlocks everything as a business owner, because investing is scary, right? Like if you did go spend that $3,000 and get it wrong, you're like, well, now I'm out $3,000, right?
Yeah.
But like once you get the right people, spending $3,000 on something to like go grow your business with, or to go rent a bigger shop, like you're not worried about it because you know your team is going to crush it and grow into it, right? It like gives you the confidence and the clarity to go make big moves. It's hard to make big moves if you don't have the right people because you don't trust that your business is actually going to be able to do that $1 million contract, right? You don't trust that you're going to have the right people to actually execute it. So it's scary to go after $1 million contract when in the back of your mind, you kind of know you have B player employees at best. Yeah. It's hard to confidently grow that thing.
That's the like worst thing anybody can ever say in business. It's the like least favorite phrase. And it's, I'm too busy to advertise, right? That's like, you screwed yourself. Like you screwed yourself. Even saying that means you don't have the confidence. You don't have the potential. You don't have the capabilities. You're just like there. Like, okay, cool. Then, well, this year we really want to get bigger. You just said you're not advertising. You can't do anymore. Like you're there. If this is it for you, then this is it. You got to really make changes for that.
I did this. This is a good. I actually I've got some conventions and stuff coming up, and this is one of my new like presentations. When you're a dude that like goes up on stages, you're always thinking like, man, how many times have I given this presentation? And so I got some new content coming out for the folks.
Nice.
Because I had to really reckon with this when I restarted. Like starting from zero, what's the point? What am I trying to accomplish? I'm a finance dude, so I know how to like structure a P&L and make sure it's making money. But in a funny way, I actually am not motivated by money at all. Yeah. I'm really a sucker for helping people. I'll like bend over backwards and get screwed over helping people. Yeah. But like I wanted to really create a business that the growth was client led. Like it was a pull growth. I'm not pushing. If people want it, come and get it. Like I want to help the clients, I want to help the employees and make sure like I do a good job of matching the two of those with the best clients with the best employees. And the result will be money, but the goal isn't money.
Right.
In a funny way, like we have one metric in our business, which is hilarious for a guy that literally like tells his clients all the metrics they should have.
Right.
I have one metric I actually care about, and it's client attrition. And I tell our team all the time, we don't fucking lose clients.
Yeah.
Like not to say we won't fire a client if they have shitty behaviors, like we fire some clients, and not to say they won't go out of business. But if we lose somebody because we set a wrong expectation or we didn't deliver on the expectation, then I'm pissed. Yeah. Like that is a huge problem. Yeah. Now we gotta take a look at what we're doing. The result will be money. If we don't lose clients and we keep growing, it will make more money. Like that is a result. It's a byproduct. But for me, it wasn't the goal. And that was part of what I realized and why I exited my last partnership is I had investors. Good or bad, investors are there to make money. Yeah. And so we were making decisions based on making more money. And I realized like, it's just not, it doesn't feel good. It's not Dan, right? Yeah,
we're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like, and that they weren't bad guys. They weren't like, hey, you need to go make money and screw people over. Right. I'm not saying that, but you have investors, like it's a profitability game. Yeah. And so the mechanism was just backwards for me, for how I like to do stuff. And so when I restarted, I really had to like think about that. I was like, oh, now it's mine. What is the point? And I tell our team all the time like this, and I tell people this when I'm doing that goofy reverse interview thing I do, like this business is not here to make Dan money. Yeah. It is not like I am the sole owner of it. And so it will, but we don't exist to try to make Dan profit. That is not the point of this. Right. This exists. It's our money. And like Jess, one of my account managers today said like, oh, can I get, do we have addresses for people? I want to get my girls some stuff. And I was like, you don't need to pay for it. Like we pay for it. It's our money. It's our team. We support each other. I love that you want to do that. And we have an employee engagement budget to get each other nice stuff and say thank you and high five. Like that is what this money is for, is to take care of all of us and bring more people on this bus and help more people. Like it will also be profitable because we're not a non-for-profit, but it's not here to make Dan a bunch of money. Right. It will. It'll do that, but that's not the point.
It's going to come anyway.
Yeah. And that was like really refreshing to do that. So now one of my presentations is like, I have an hour on goal setting and how to think about budgeting versus setting goals and what's the point, because you mentioned the highly coveted $1 million business earlier. And that feels like a goal, right? Like, oh, I got to get to this $1 million level. Like it's people up there are cool. Well, everybody that we know that's ever gotten $1 million business gets there and goes like, oh, damn. Like there wasn't any confetti. Yeah. I thought there was no parade. We hit $1 million and my wife said, hey, good job. And then fold that laundry. Like nobody cared. And actually what happens at $1 million for a lot, I call it purgatory number 3, is you're like, oh shit, I need more. I don't know how to run this business because now I'm really a CEO and I need a leadership team and I need a GM, but now I got to pay somebody $100,000. I don't even pay myself $100,000. How am I going to pay somebody else $100,000? And so like a lot of $1 million businesses make $0 for a while until they like solve purgatory 3 problems. Yeah. But it's like we charge at $1 million because we think that's a place to go. And we set our goal based on revenue instead of like what success really looks like for us. And the revenue is just a result of what success looks like. And like when you can change your goal to be what does success really look like? What's the freedom that you want? Right. For me, it's I want to be out ice fishing this weekend with my family and my Starlink, doing a little bit of work, doing a little bit of play, maybe have a nice cold beer with it. That's what success looks like for me. Yeah. Right. That's not a revenue number. That's not a profit number. Right. Revenue and profit will happen and it will pay for a fish house and some Starlink, both business expenses because it is a remote office location. Right. But I think that's so important to reckon with. Like if you are back to like, it's your business, you get to decide. If you don't like it, change it. Yeah. Like make sure you know why you're actually doing it. Like what does success really look like? And as I say that and you guys are listening, make sure that success isn't a number. Right. Like, if it is a number, what does the number mean to you? Like, why would you want $1 million? Well, man, dude, I'd be so comfortable. I could go on vacation. Okay. So now you're seeing what really matters, not the money. Yeah. What the money brings you. Money's a result. Just, and like, we have the luxury and we forget sometimes because running a business is stressful. We forget sometimes that like the reason why we're a business owner is because it's fun. Like, right? Like we
Right.
we have permission to do whatever we want. We get to make it. We get to make it fun. It's ours. Nobody can tell us otherwise besides our spouses sometimes.
Right.
But like usually they're supportive of our screwing around. So like I think it's just important to reflect on that as like, what does success look like? What's really the goal? And just always remember, like, it's yours. If there's something about it you don't like, go change it. Go talk to the people that can help teach you how to change it. I think, like, I'm a bookkeeper. I do CFO calls with clients all day. I talk more about recruiting with them than I do about their finances. Yeah. Again, like I have the luxury of seeing hundreds of businesses and seeing who's winning and seeing who's losing. And the people that are winning are always the ones that are the best at recruiting and in leadership and employee engagement. So I end up like coaching my clients on that all the time. Yeah. Like, if you get that right, you will be happier. Your business will grow. The result will be better. Yeah. And, and then you can go ice fishing with me.
There you go. See, that's, it's genuinely a concern for people, or genuinely an issue to be happy doing what we're doing, and people get lost sometimes. We get sucked into it. When we're not making any money, we're like, we just need to make some money. And then you get into it, you're making money. You're just like, oh man, we just need to make more money. We got to make
some more money now. Yeah.
It's like Jim Carrey said it once, that he's like, hey, I woke up this morning and I was a 2-time Oscar award winning or whatever. And he's like, I thought, man, is it going to be great when I'm a 3-time award winner? And then I got this 3rd award and now I'm going to go, man, oh man, is it going to be great when I'm a 4-time? Like, it never ends. Yeah. It's like you're chasing the wrong dream. So, but anyway, I appreciate everything, kind of what you're saying, but tell us about how we can reach out to you. I mean, you are the guru when it comes to this stuff. How do guys get a hold of you?
First, check out my podcast. We got the Home Service Happy Hour podcast. There's a couple of them out on the podcast feeds because we jumped around to different podcast links, and the old ones there and the new ones there. So get the one with like the latest episode. That's the new one. You want to go follow that one. Check out Home Service Happy Hour. If you need bookkeeping help or need recruiting help, go to bestdanbookkeeping.com, like with the swear word, not Best Dan. That's easy to confuse, but it's
that would have been a good name though too.
I think I actually might own that URL because I was thinking people are going to type that because when I say it, they're going to hear that.
Nice. Yeah.
I think I do. I think it forwards, but go with Best Damn just to be on the safe side. Bestdamnbookkeeping.com. Check us out. Like I said, it's bookkeeping, but it's really CFO service. Like, it's really a finance thing. Bookkeeping is a finance thing. It's not just an accounting thing. Yeah. My schedule's on there. You can book time with me. You can tell from how much I talked over Jersey in this episode here that I love to talk. So grab some time with me to talk, and go check out Hire Lead Chill. Like, if you don't use a recruiting service, go use a recruiting service. It changes everything about how you run your business. Looking at Indeed resumes sucks, you guys, or Facebook or whatever. Like, chasing around bad applicants in the world of digital recruiting, it sucks worse because you get 30 people clicking on your job ad in like 2 seconds. None of them are serious, or one of them is serious. Yeah. So you spend all this time like looking through shitty resumes, trying to pick out like who might be good. Like, get a recruiting service to do all the lifting for you so you can just interview them. Come find me. I'm on the Facebooks. I'm on the Grams. I'm on the TikToks.
You're hip. You're cool. You're everywhere.
I don't know about that, but I am everywhere.
They are everywhere. You're only going to be on the ice though for like another maybe month, 2. It's going to be an early spring, man.
I got 2 trips left. Minnesota walleye season ends at the end of February. So I got the trip with my family, and then I got some business buddies flying in Tuesday, and we're heading up Wednesday for the final trip of the year. Then convention season hits. Then it's like 4 weeks in a row flying around the country to wherever.
Oh man, we got IWCA next week, International Window Cleaning Association. So I know they Tuesday for Florida.
They didn't consult me when they set the dates because that's the week I do my business owner ice fishing trip. They didn't ask me, and so I can't make it to IWCA this year.
You've made the right choice. I mean, ice fishing over that, it's
We'll see. Yeah. It's supposed to be like a blizzard and an east wind the whole time we're up there. So I don't know. We might just be drinking beers and playing cards. We'll see.
There you go. And either way, it sounds amazing. So
should be all right.
Well, cool. I appreciate you guys really genuinely. I really hope you got some stuff out of this. And if you think there's any room for your business to get bigger, better, any of that stuff, he's the guy to talk to. There's so many aspects of business that aren't just cleaning. It's just not cleaning or just running or doing any of this stuff. There's so many pieces that make this whole puzzle thing. And the biggest, best companies have all the pieces together. So Definitely. I very much appreciate it. You guys know my drill too. Shameless plug. I'm a rep for windowcleaner.com. If you need anything, I would love to put your order in. 862-312-2026. And of course, if you haven't gotten the magazine yet, go to awcmag.com. Get the subscription, $69 a year. That's it. Go get it. And yeah, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for spending some time. And until next week, guys, go and advance your company, but more importantly, go out there and be epic.